one thing I am, whether I'm dining out or I'm at Starbucks or when I used to go to bars, is I'm a bit of a table fidgeter or a chair fidgeter. I will flip. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, but I'm not sure how hard I really am working on it. I think I'm accepting of the fact that I like the right chair, the right setup, the right view of the restaurant, and what have you. And as I pushed live this morning, I realized things weren't quite the way I wanted. Hello there. Decided to switch some chairs around and get started. So let me keep making things just how I want them. Hello, Terry Brown. Oh, hello, Smokey. Hello, Jax Joe. Oh, hello, Laura with capitals. I wonder why Laura has all capitals. Hello, Seth. Hello, Aussie. Hello, Hart. What a sweet name. Isidore. Debbie Chevalier. Kim Kelly or something. Hard keeping up. Feta cheese. Feta cheese is kind of an interesting cheese. I mean, I kind of like it. Can't say it's my favorite. It's one of the most interesting cheeses. It's very crumbly, very dry, comes in squares or cubes, Often served, I believe, in Greek salads and with gyros, if I'm not mistaken. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Panda. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It is, let me do some math. I think it's the 14th of July, so we're about halfway through the month. It's about 9:30 in the morning where I'm coming at you from. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. Actually, I'm in Aurora right now, but Naperville is my home base. Town of about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. Kind of a wettish, slightly overcast, kind of humidish morning. And enjoying the start of my morning. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. This is a show I've been doing for a long, long time. It is a show about me kind of sharing some feelings, kind of sharing some ups and downs we go through, kind of the roller coaster that is life. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's more than that. You know it's more than that. Besides me talking about all the ups and downs we have in life, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. You can see the mermaid staring at you, her eyes right there. I don't know why she's a mermaid. I don't know why the mermaid is the symbol for all things Starbucks. But apparently it's a mermaid, and I did not know that till a couple years ago. But anyway, I am so excited to have my very first sip of coffee at this relatively late hour for me. Thank you for following the live creator. I so enjoy when people follow my page, gives them a chance to be exposed to all my stuff. My stuff, be it entertaining, educational, inspirational, or just downright silly. Good morning, Pixie Sticks, and thank you for the sunshines. I'm going to show you, I'm delaying my first sip of coffee, kind of what we're looking at. I like to give a quick tour. I am sitting out on a patio here, kind of got some cool looking skies behind me, or off to the, I guess that's the southwest. Got some rain coming down, but we got some blue skies following it. Could be a somebody asked me my favorite song at the moment. I'm going to say Always Somewhere by Scorpions, which I believe is on their Love Drive album. Yeah, Love Drive album from '79. And the only reason I'm going to call it my favorite song at the moment, it was the song I popped on as I drove over here this morning. And I heard about 2/3 of it. It's kind of a ballad. And Was really enjoying it, and then I parked my car and went in to get my coffee, so I couldn't hear the rest of it. But anyway, as I was saying, this isn't just a show about me talking. It is also a show, and thank you for following the live creator, about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. And wow. A little Chevrolet Spark just pulled in and out. I guess because it's named Spark, it's probably an electric vehicle. But it looks so tiny. It looks so tiny. It just pulled out, and I go, wow, is that a go-kart or is that a car? Guess it's a car. Young lady with purple hair drove away in it. But anyway, so, like I said, I'm excited to have my first sip of coffee, and I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I think she added a little extra cream this morning, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think it's important to get to Starbucks, to experience Starbucks in the morning. I mean, they're changing. They're bringing out new coffee makers to all their stores, but not all of them have them yet. And where they can serve any bean or any type of coffee all day long. It used to be that you could only get Pike Place in the afternoon or late morning. And if you got there early enough, or, sometime before probably 10 o'clock, they were still serving up their dark and their light roast or their blonde roast. And I'm really a big fan of their dark roast. I enjoy it. It's got a fuller flavor. It's got more character, I think, than their Pike Place, which is kind of a typical coffee to me. And I enjoy the heck out of it. So let's have another sip. William says he only drinks beer. I wonder how true that is. I know for a lot of people, it'd probably be an easy habit. If you had no desire to not do that, I was raised in a family of runners. There was alcohol consumed, but I don't know. My mother used to go to the health food store. So I was raised with the concept of health being important. But if you weren't raised that way, and you woke up in the morning and you had, I don't know, a 30-pack of Coors Light sitting in the fridge staring at you, I bet it wouldn't be too hard to almost literally only drink beer. Probably wouldn't be a good way to go through life, and I'm not judging, but I know I used to drink a lot, and I stopped drinking about, 18 months ago, I think. And have realized life's not perfect when you stop drinking, but at least you're capable of facing your fears or your emotions or your anxieties or your stressors or your depression in a healthier fashion than just kind of burying it with alcohol, which is what I used to do. Do I get the same kind of coffee every time? I sure do. I guess I do. I get a tall coffee with cream. And got the rain picking up a little bit here, which is strange because the blue sky's right off there. But I'm actually getting a hit. Slide. Excuse me if the phone falls. I'll try and slide in a couple inches. My leg was getting wet. I'm wearing swimming trunks because it's supposed to warm up a little bit later today. And might go to the swimming pool. It's my day off. It feels so good. It's my Saturday. I was a realtor for 17 years. Did fairly okay with that. Never felt I was important. Whether a client ended up using me to sell their house or not, they still ended up selling their house. And whether a client used me to buy a house, they still ended up buying a house. I just felt like I was there to minimal services is all most of my clients really wanted. And, I'd bend over backwards to try and please them, but it didn't really matter what I did. They, kind of looked at it as a business transaction. And in my mind, I think they looked, and maybe they didn't, but maybe I did, as realtors, it's a necessary evil. Just part of something they need to do when they got to buy or sell a house. And that was my feelings. And I'm sure there's other realtors that feel totally different, but that's cool. And over the last 5 or 6 months, I've been working at a Super Target because I needed a job. I needed some income, even though it's very little income. And I needed a place to go. And motorcycles riding by on a rainy day. I own a Suzuki Bergman 400 scooter, but always scares me a little bit riding on wet roads. And when you're riding scared, that's not a good way to ride. I think I don't know, you're a little safer when that fear's, when you're hyper vigilant, it almost can be distracting. And when every turn I'm worried about the tires sliding out from under me, it's just not a good feeling. It's not an enjoyable ride. And I know I'm gripping the steering wheel too tight. And I think you need a certain amount of give in your riding, or at least I do, to feel comfortable or to feel safe. And wet roads weren't it for me. So, as I was saying, working at a Super Target the last 5 or 6 months has taught me a lot of things, taught me the value of work and the scheduling and punching a clock. But I'll tell you what, feels good to have this day off. 2 days off in a row is amazing. The first 4 months I was working 5 days a week, having Sundays and Tuesdays off. So for 4 or 5 months, I never had 2 days off in a row. And had the day off yesterday, but I had a ton of stuff I had to do or got to do or needed to do. Most importantly, spend a few hours with my beautiful nugget of love, Augie, in the afternoon. I have a 2-year-old son. I also have a 8-9-month-old daughter, believe it or not. And I also have 2 older girls from a first marriage who are 17 and 14. And I'm blessed with 4 beautiful kids from 2 separate marriages. And I think sometimes things come at you and it's a little bit of a surprise in life. But I don't think I'm ever, on my deathbed, I'm going to regret having more kids. So although not everything in life was expected, I look at the curves God throws at us as best I can as a blessing, and smile it off and realize there's a reason for everything and a purpose for everything and a lesson to be learned even in the tough stuff. And I've been taught my share of lessons over the last couple of years, and doing a really good job of smiling on through it. It's kind of loud where I'm at today. I'm at, again, a Starbucks just across the border in a town called Aurora. Yeah, Aurora, kind of hard to say sometimes. And along a busy road, Eola, and there's some truck traffic and, I don't know, work being done. There's a couple of ladies sitting behind me. I come to this Starbucks because usually the patio is wide open, and there's a couple women sitting at the table behind me, a couple behind me, which kind of was a concern for me at first because I don't want to disturb anybody. But then I realized if I can kind of be looking off towards the parking lot and towards the road, all the sound is going to be going off that way, and they probably can't hear me too well. What am I doing on this day off? Jody, I've slept in. I had a hard time getting out of bed. I showered, I got dressed, and I came to Starbucks. That's the end of my definitive plans. I have some tentative plans. I might go to the swimming pool and enjoy it for a few hours. I definitely, again, I'm working at a Super Target, but I just completed my resume. And when I say completed my resume, I think a resume is probably a living, breathing thing that you're always going to be tweaking and playing with and improving, just kind of like we are and in life. But I'm going to send out some resumes, going to do some job searching. Did a little bit of that yesterday and did some follow-up yesterday with some jobs I'd applied to and ones that I think might be kind of interesting for me. My Starbucks drink is pretty boring, honestly. It's a dark roast coffee with cream. Let's have a little more. But other than that, my schedule's free. What type of jobs am I looking for? It's kind of funny. There's a bunch of skills. I would like to find a career eventually. I didn't quit drinking yesterday, William. I quit drinking on October 28th, 2021. What type of jobs am I looking for? It's funny you say that. At first, I was insistent on finding the perfect career for me and the perfect thing I'm going to do, because I was expected to be a realtor till was never expecting to retire from real estate. But again, I only did sort of okay and only sort of believed in the product that was Ken Tracy, the realtor. And feel good to have left that. But again, that was my plan for the rest of my life. I was going to be a realtor. I don't think it ever gave me a huge amount of joy thinking about me selling homes the rest of my life, to be honest with you. There's great things about being a realtor, but it feels good to not be it anymore. But anyway, took this job at Target. Immediately thought maybe it had career potential. It's a big company, a lot of mobility, upward mobility, I figured, and really poured myself into it as if it was going to be a career for me, even though I just had an entry-level position. And realized that not everything's got to be forever, be it a relationship or a job or what have you. And some jobs are just meant to be stepping stones, and some relationships are just meant to be that, just relationships and things that are part of our lives for a period and are gone after a period. And again, I feel that way about my current job at Target. As far as jobs I'm looking for right now, first and foremost, I'd like a higher paying job. I'd like a higher paying job. I was, it's funny, you know, because again, I was looking for a career and I was so set on loving it and being the perfect next, you know, career for me, or what I was going to spend my life doing, or my passion, or something that fit my skill set. And I started looking at various jobs that I was capable of doing, and there was one job I applied to, and I heard back, and I did a follow-up step, but I haven't heard a follow-up step. But the pay was going to be double what I made at Target. And I go, you know, I don't know if my skill set matches this job description perfectly, but for double the pay, I got to be sort of interested. So first thing I'm looking for is a job that pays more. And that sounds so shallow. I've had jobs that have paid a ton. I made a fair amount as a realtor, and I was a stockbroker before, and made a lot of money doing that. And I realized that money doesn't buy happiness, but there are certain minimal requirements, especially for a twice divorced man with 4 kids from 2 separate moms, certain minimum requirements financially. And what I'm doing now doesn't cover it, or, you know, barely does. And so the first thing I'm looking for is higher pay. But I'd like a job somehow dealing with people. I think I'm really good with people. Be a customer service, or if it was sales, it'd be a light sales position. If it was, I think I'd be a great sales manager for a lot of different companies. And I think I'm good at motivating. I'm good at working with people. If I believe in a product, I'm a hell of a salesman. Nobody's going to do a better job selling something they believe in than I am. I thought of car sales for a while, and honestly, I've always enjoyed cars. I love the new car smell. I love a showroom atmosphere, and I like the kind of camaraderie, competitive juices flowing that I believe would exist at a car dealership. As a guy that was a stockbroker and a guy that was a realtor, I've always worked with kind of type A dynamic individuals Um, and I think I could enjoy that atmosphere. I was surprised. I did a little research to find that the average car salesman doesn't make nearly what I thought they made. You know, I drive an Audi. I like Audis a lot. I Googled what the average Audi car salesman make. It was a lot less than I expected. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I mean, it was 66 grand, which is a decent income. I mean, which is, but, that wouldn't be a starting pay, or you'd have to be at least average. Hopefully, I'd be above average and make more than that. But, first day, I'm not even going to be average. I'm going to be a first day employee going, hey, where's the bathroom? Where's the contract? This person wants to buy this Audi A6. How do I get it done? I'm not sure. Somebody's saying if I want more information, contact them. I'm going to contact you. I'm going to follow you back. Therefore, we can now communicate. It's strange on TikTok. You can't message people until there's a mutual following situation. And I haven't read exactly what you said, but you said, I do see, if you want more info, contact me. I certainly would want more info. Again, I'm 54 years old. I probably got 30 years left on this planet. I'd like to make a difference. I'd like to love what I do, to be honest with you. I think I have a ton of skills. I have some weaknesses, but we all do. And I'd like to work around those and find a job that matches my skill set, because I think I have a lot to offer whatever company does eventually hire me. And have a lot of energy. I'm hardworking. I'm honest. I'm friendly. I'm outgoing. And I'm pretty determined as well. So, yeah, we'll see. But, hey, Jesse, thank you so much for following the live creator. But in the meantime, the sun is coming out. I'll show you the sun. And it's pretty. And I'm excited about my day. And it feels so good again to have a day off today. And to sleep in. The last couple nights were kind of fitful nights to sleep in for me. I think I had a lot on my mind. I think chemically I might have been, I don't know, my diet was screwed up or what have you. I should be a Starbucks spokesperson. I certainly should. Starbucks follows me here on TikTok, so I'm not going to rule it out. And actually, I thought about working at a Starbucks for a while, just as I know some higher level people at Starbucks. And again, I'm working an entry level job at Target, so I'm not above starting wherever. I don't think that would be a great fit for me long term. I'm not sure that retail or even food environment, I like the fast-paced environment, but again, I think a place with a little more competitive vibe might be really good for me. And where I can look at my fellow workers or salespeople or what have you and say, let's go get them today. Let's make a difference. Let's sell some product. Let's move some merchandise, what have you. Let's knock the cover off the ball, because I really feed on that energy probably more than I do in terms of income. Naperuski said life coach. Kind of interesting. I think what I do here, I think I share my story, and some seem to find some inspiration or feel good or energy from it. I've heard I have a positive energy and a positive vibe. And if what I'm doing here provides anybody some inspiration or some feeling like they're not alone, or I don't know, some companionship or a laugh or just a smile maybe from time to time, I get a ton of joy out of that. I started getting monetized on social media about 2 months ago now, and I'm currently making about $60 a month through YouTube and Facebook, and that's kind of funny. But I only laugh at that, sort of. I also believe that that's a start, and it feels good because I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy talking to the camera, and I think I have a message that's worth sharing. And it's a hopeful message, and it's an optimistic message, and it's a message that it's okay that, you know, you're going to get knocked down, and that's okay. That's part of life. And pulling yourself back up and moving forward is really a part of life as well. Well, Brian, thank you for saying that. I appreciate encouragement. Sometimes it's hard to get on. Some days I don't feel it. Some days I'm feeling really grumpy or depressed or sad or anxious or what have you. And I'm feeling woe is me. But then I'm laying there in bed and say a little prayer or find something to be grateful for, and I don't know, find my way to coffee, push live on my phone, and usually get a big smile on my face and start laughing because I think it's kind of silly. And finding some silliness in the face of fear or anxiety or sadness, I think is probably a good thing. And I've always kind of had a silly, childlike persona. Deep down, I think a lot of schooling and my family life maybe encouraged me to hide that and bury that and be like everybody else, whether it was another kid in class or one of my older brothers or what have you. But I'm learning to love who I am, warts and all, and it feels good being okay with who I am. And again, we can make improvements and we can instill good habits and take bad habits out of our lives. Again, I stopped drinking 2 years ago, and life doesn't immediately get all roses and rainbows as soon as you stop drinking. But at least you feel a little healthier. At least you feel a little bit of pride that you know you're doing something for your body and your mind that's a positive. And there's so many things you can do, whether it's meditation or prayer or gratitude or going to church or saying good morning or looking people in the eyes or shaking a hand or thanking a vet for a service or picking up a piece of trash on the ground or just taking a quiet moment to reflect. There's so many good steps we can do to feel a little better and make the world a little bit better place to be. Well, thank you. I'm jumping the gun. It'll be 2 years in October, but I'm creeping up on it. And honestly, somebody congratulated me for 2 years without drinking and smoking, by the way. I used to smoke pot all the time. But it's been honestly easy for me. I think I was blessed or fortunate not to be physically addicted. I think it was just a real bad habit for me. And I'm one that goes in, you know, when I ran marathons. When I worked out every day. When I did yoga twice, oftentimes twice a day. I go all in. And when you go all in on a bad thing like drinking alcohol, it's not going to make your life a whole heck of a lot better. And every single day I would sleep kind of crappy, and I thought I had a sleeping issue. Hey, way to go, Brian. Way to go. I bet prescription drugs are hard to shake, too. No, it is legal here. It is legal here. And I actually stopped doing it almost the time they made it legal. I just felt, for me, I think the fact that it's legal here removed all barriers to doing it. I used to feel guilty going to buy it or what have you. But suddenly they made buying it. Somebody asked me if buying 420 was legal here, if I'd still do it. It is legal in Illinois. And they made buying it almost a very pleasant experience. It's like going into a bank. And I don't know. Made it too easy. And I think when it was too easy, I just did it too often. And I don't know. It feels good to not. And it feels good to, I don't know, wake with a clearer mind and a better night's sleep and a little bit more optimism that life is going to get better. It's not just going to get better when I get to lunch and I have a beer, but it's going to get better when I turn on my phone and go live. Thank you, Lisa. Or when I open up my computer and start sending resumes. Or when I go in and order some more coffee and I make the barista smile. Or when I send a text to one of my daughters telling them I love them. Or when I reach out to a friend just seeing how they're doing. There's a lot of opportunities to feel a little bit better. And I used to find all that opportunity to feel better at the bottom of a bottle of Heineken. And let me tell you, I really liked Heineken. I really did. So, but it's good to have broken up with Heineken. It's broken off my relationship. Still drink a Heineken Zero from time to time. But anyway, yeah, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Again, the trees are pretty. The sun's hitting the leaves. And it's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous day. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting a lot accomplished and being kind to myself and loving on myself and forgiving myself for my past sins, because we've all done it. And I hope wherever you are, you have a wonderful day. I hope you had a great, great night's sleep. Yeah, Brian, you're trying to replace bad habits with good habits. And you have to, because if you stop drinking alcohol, you got a whole lot of time in front of you. You got a lot of things, because so much of my life revolved around drinking alcohol. And suddenly you take that out of the equation, maybe going bowling isn't as exciting, or going to that party isn't as exciting, or happy hour is no longer a thing, or, even watching golf on a Sunday used to be something I'd love to do, but it'd be always with a beer in my hand. And anyway, so... yeah, you're gonna have a lot of time on your hand when you get rid of some bad habits, and slowly but surely you'll figure out ways to fill in that time. Honestly, I'm doing it with these videos a lot. I'm pouring a lot of energy and effort and thought. I think I have a story to tell and an ability to tell it that seems to connect with an audience. And if my experiences in life can benefit you guys or benefit an audience, I'm happy to share them. And if they give somebody some inspiration or cause somebody to try not smoking pot or not drinking alcohol, I'm happy to do it. And to love themselves a little more and to forgive themselves a little more and love those that are around them, and maybe pick up some trash from time to time or shake a vet sand. I don't know. Hope I'm sending out a good message. I think that I am, and I'm going to drink a little more coffee. And again, Lisa, what made me quit drinking and smoking? I always kind of knew I wanted to. I realized I was spending way too much time sitting on the couch with a bottle of Heineken in my hand, getting through my days just by numbing myself and numbing the anxiety that has always been close. And I realized I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. It was just something I did to kind of numb myself, and I wasn't proud of who I was becoming, and I was hating myself, I was hating my wife, I was hating my life, and not enjoying it. I remember the very first, time I drank alcohol, the buzz was so amazing, but that fades. And when it becomes a bad habit, and you're just doing it to cope with life, at least for me, it was time. And I didn't do it right away. And, I thought about doing it for years, quitting. Always kind of felt guilty, but the way to soothe the guilt was by drinking some more Heineken. And I don't know, one day I said, screw it. It happened to be at the total dissolution of my second marriage. I think that might have been an immediate catalyst for it. And I think I was in a very dark place that night. I know I was, and I couldn't sleep, and I had bad thoughts. And I said, hey, drinking's not helping, it's hurting. And I don't know. I'll keep this story going. We don't have to finish it today because life's not a story that you finish in a day or can sum up in a day. I go live most days. I am working tomorrow and my shift starts at 7 o'clock. I used to go live at about 6 o'clock, but I'm sleeping a little better and enjoying some rest and enjoying the sleep. So I appreciate you saying don't go. But I post a lot of videos. I hope you follow my page. I hope you enjoy my content. Hope you tell your friends, you share my videos, you find some value, you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. You're living in the moment. You're feeling good. Again, you're loving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.